And we're back to IGN Live at E3. I'm Naomi Kyle, streaming at you straight from the show floor. Up next, we're going to take a look at DMC, which is the cool way, short way, of saying Devil May Cry. This game follows a sassy young Dante, so let's take a look at his hijinks.
Thank you very much, Naomi, and I have the pleasure of being joined by Alex Jones from Capcom. How you doing, man?
I'm good, thanks.
It's good to see you, and thank you for bringing DMC on. This is really exciting for me because I cannot wait for this game. This is hotly anticipated for me.
Awesome.
So let's jump right into the demo and talk about what you guys are doing at E3.
Yeah, cool. So today we've got a boss fight. So right off the bat, you'll see that huge scale size boss, pretty standard DMC stuff. Wout just showed off one of the new mechanics, which is an angel lift ability, so Dante can grapple to areas. It's one of the things we were real keen on is making sure that in addition to stellar hack and slash action, there's also other additions like traversal gameplay, light puzzles, just to break a light platform, little traversal, just to break up the killing demons slightly.
You really don't have to break up.
One doesn't live on killing demons just alone.
So right away I noticed, man, this game is just looking phenomenal. It's such a, even like compared to Devil May Cry 4 and then jumping to here, it's just such a, same console but such a graphical improvement.
Well, I mean, the credit goes to Ninja Theory. They're a stellar developer. They have a very distinct visual style, which is part of the reason we chose those guys. We really wanted to make a statement with this game, not have it be, you know, DMC 5 as it were, but something new.
Something new. And as we were talking about before the show started, this is the first time that internal Capcom has not handled the development of the game. So this is really a big deal.
Yeah, it was. They gave us the keys to the car and said drive it real fast, but don't crash it. But they also at the same time.
What if you do crash it?
Well, let's not talk about that. But it was important that they brought in when we signed up with Ninja Theory. They brought in core lead creatives from 2, 3, and 4 who had the knowledge of making amazing fighting games. So that part was almost like co-development in a lot of ways. Like they're over there every month working with the guys, talking about frame counts, working with the animators, like hand in glove. So the aesthetics, the narrative, all the things that Ninja Theory is amazing at, we wanted all that. And then at the same time, they had clearly by Heavenly Sword and Slave a talent for doing, you know, melee combat games, but we thought that by giving them a Capcom wisdom transfer that they could take it to the next level, and then it's total two great tastes that taste great together. So while
like
it wasn't internal, but we had a lot of internal support.
All right, excellent. That's good to hear, man. And what, in the grand scheme of DMC, where are we in the game right now? Is this like midway through, beginning?
No, this is
late game?
About the end of the first third, thereabouts. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is one.
That was very specific.
Yeah. So
the end of the first third. Maybe 2 minutes in.
You can see of day 3 of you getting very specific.
Yes, you have to. I mean, you got to be a man of specifics at E3. And what are we actually fighting? Because I just realized I still don't actually know what this giant, really gross-looking thing is that we're looking at.
Well, her name is Poison. That's pretty apt.
Okay.
And,
yes, that's a very fitting. When they, man.
And if believe it or not,
it's a her. It's a she. Did you say?
It's a she. Only a mother could love the face.
Yes.
And it's believe it or not, inside a beverage factory.
You're inside a beverage
factory. The beverage factory from hell. So this is showing the concept of limbo, which is a world that exists out of sight of the real world, as it were.
Yes.
And so when the demons pull Dante into this realm, and this is where most of the game action takes place. But it's sort of a dystopic mirror image of the real world. So what the real world would see, and there's a cutscene that sets us up prior to that, is an actual functioning beverage factory with conveyor belts and all this. And this you're looking at is the secret ingredient.
I really hope that that's not what we're putting into our bodies when we have beverages, because that would be pretty gross. Do all the combat scenes take place in this sort of limbo environment? Yeah,
the game fiction is that limbo is the area where the demons can exert direct control. So it's the only place where they can get at Dante directly. In the human realm, where a lot of the story takes place, you see how that's reflected. So this actually, and you'll see it at the end of cutscenes, where what happened in Limbo has a real-world analog, but it's usually like a bomb went off or there was a terrorist attack, and Dante ends up taking the blame for that.
And that's why he has now kind of been labeled a deviant.
Exactly.
I believe at the beginning of the game, that's sort of how it's set up. Is
outcast, terrorist. He's very much a pariah.
All right, excellent. And did we just beat Poison, or is she coming back?
No,
no,
it's just when you think it's
okay. There you go. I like that. That's the sound effect you guys used in the game, I'm pretty sure. So she does not look happy.
No,
Dante's flying all around. Is this Was that CG or an in-game? Is this in-game?
These are in-engine cutscenes.
These are in-engine
Yeah,
cutscenes?
once again,
Jeez.
Ninja Theory are, I mean, they're just wizards with that.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And of course, Dante, I just saw Dante using his traditional, pistols.
He's got the Ebony and Ivory, absolutely. Right, yeah, cool. He's got the Rebellion. It was really important that we knew we were changing a lot, but to also have a core that was completely recognizable.
The staples of Dante.
The totems of the franchise, if you will.
Yeah. Absolutely. What else does he have at his disposal that maybe we're not seeing here?
Well, he's got, he's got Angel and Demon heritage, so his weapons partake of either of those. So he's got an axe, he's got a scythe, which is an angel weapon. He's got.
I thought Death used a scythe.
He does, but he's the angel of death. For demons.
All right.
So it's appropriate. I made that work at the end.
Yeah, you did. Well done. I think maybe he just won.
He just won.
I felt like that was
actually, it's very
blow.
special. Wout hasn't actually beaten the boss before on live TV.
Well, now it's happened. Now I believe we can jump into another freeform section.
Yeah, we can show a part of the street section, which will show a world that's a little less fantasy, a little less over the top.
Okay.
It's still going to be limbo-y, but it's in a more urban setting. Limbo-y.
You're coming up with a lot of very good words.
Kind of a pointer.
All right. No, it's great. And what from start to finish, the average player, what are we thinking for time investment? If you can even talk.
It's going to be 10 hours plus, and then it'll vary on that depending on your skill level. I'm probably 15 hours.
15.
Yeah, I was the guy who got worked at 7-Eleven at Street Fighter, not the guy who won.
No, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
That's usually how I am too. I would probably clock in at 20. And where are we in the world right now? I mean, we're not in limbo, but where is
this is actually a real world. This is actually our real world.
Is this like New York? Is this?
No, it's actually the city is called Limbo.
Okay.
Hence Limbo. That was a complete make-em-up.
All right. And is Dante with a supporting character right now?
Yeah, so he has someone who shows up from time to time to help him. Her name is Kat, and she's basically a medium who can project herself into limbo, but she's a real world person, but she can help Dante through, and she does that from time to time.
And what we're seeing here is, of course, as you mentioned, the demons pulling him into limbo, which is the city name too. And I don't know if I don't even know what's going on, man. Here comes trouble.
The idea is the world is aware of Dante and sort of reacts to the demon's antipathy toward him. So you'll see, so they pull him in, but in other ambient ways, there'll be things that crawl up the walls. The world sort of shivers. It doesn't like Dante, so it spawns like white blood cells because he's a foreign invader, if you will.
You have the best ways to describe this game. You're putting it right in perspective. And in the corner, obviously, we have another sort of staple of the franchise, which is being graded on your combat. And I believe when we saw this game recently, one of the developers was discussing how this is a much more transparent system than before. This is basically, it kind of tells you how you're doing, why you're doing well.
It's tallying your score in ways that when the really hardcore players are totally willing to put the time in to reverse engineer how they scored to get that triple S.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make that a little more open, so it would incentivize people who just ignored that before. Oh, now I see how I'm scoring, so it incentivizes you to, before you were going to be happy with a B or an S or whatever, and now we think more casual players or more or less hardcore players will want to actually go for the triple S ranking.
Excellent. And never settle with a B. You got to go for the triple S.
You have to play it over again. Right. Redo the level.
Well, dude, I think we're out of time, but I saw on the screen earlier, I think you guys shot out a release date, right?
We are January 15th, 2013.
January 15th, 2013. A day that I will not...
live in infamy.
Oh, I'm so excited. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. And I will now kick it back to Naomi.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. So how does the younger Dante look to you? Be sure to follow at IGN on Twitter and send us a tweet with the hashtag E3. Up next, we have another Capcom published game, complete with giant mechs, hostile lands, and crazy ice beasts. Get ready for Lost Planet 3.